Not all memoirs by Real Housewives are created equal. I love memoirs across the board. Like, it's my favorite genre to read. Housewives specifically, there's a huge variety in like how well written the book is, if the book feels like the voice of the person that we've gotten to know on the show, like how in depth it is, how many like new stories are being shared in the memoir. I'm gonna give you some of my favorites. What Remains by Carol Roswell, I definitely think is the best written of the Housewives memoirs I've read. I don't think this is surprising. Like, she was a journalist. The book is incredibly emotional, and just like external of Housewives, this offers such a personal take on tragedy in pop culture that has continued to just consume the American imagination. Pursuit of Portia, I think, is the book that has surprised me the most. I don't feel like the writing style is totally in line with the Portia that we see on Atlanta. However, there are some just like really wild, heartbreaking stories that Portia shares from her youth. Bad Mormon by Heather, I think, is written in the voice that we know her to have today on Salt Lake City. Said this on our Heather biography video, and I've said it on a couple of other like Salt Lake related videos since then. I think the reason that Heather could be set up to be a narrator today is because of what she presented in Bad Mormon, plus that coming out around the time of that trip to Bermuda, receipts proof timeline to Monica. In her memoir, Heather is obviously telling stories like of her life and like giving her perspective on her experience on the LDS church. I think that the stories actually are pretty representative, especially in the way that she, again, is the narrator on the show. Life on the Ramona Coaster, I think, is a good example of a book that is very clearly written in the voice of the person. Like we were saying on our Ramona biography video, in the comments, there was quite a few saying like the biography by Ramona sounds like she is reading it to you, even if you're like reading it, not listening to the audiobook, which I think she does read the audiobook. I didn't feel like any of the stories were necessarily super in depth or like really like juicy, surprising stories, but they are written in a way that sounds like Ramona is explaining her rationale or like explaining her thought process. And then honorable mention, not a memoir, but if you've watched my videos at all, I'm constantly referencing Not All Diamonds and Rosé by Dave Quinn. This book is a transcript from early Housewives to people working at Bravo, and is kind of like explaining the origins of each of the franchises through 2020. It's like background information on the show. Again, like I'm always referencing this book. I certainly haven't read all of the memoirs by people on Real Housewives, but especially as we've been doing this biography series, like if someone has a memoir, I'm going to read it before doing the biography video on them. So again, while I haven't read them all, I've certainly read quite a few. And I also want to add that I generally, for my own sake, I do not ever rate memoirs. I don't feel like it's up to me to like judge someone's story or like judge how well they tell their story. And when we're talking specifically about Housewives biographies, I think like best or favorite really depends on what you're looking to get out of the book. Is it that you're looking for like a genuinely well-written story? Or is it that you're looking for like new, juicy, unknown information? Are you trying to like get to know a person and understand why they make the decisions they do and like why they interact and the dynamics that they do? If you read a Housewife biography that I didn't mention but you really enjoyed and would recommend, please let us know.